Here I want to take a little detour from the tutorial and explain what happens next, because the game tells us to go to this objective, where you fight a bunch of thugs and a Santa Claus, but instead we are going to start the biggest sequence break in the game, if not in the entire Arkham series. This speedrun is about to take a very strange turn, and I wanted to help you understand what happens here. So, you probably know that the game has the overworld, which is this big, seamless, sandbox-like map. It has 2 islands and you can travel pretty much everywhere without a single loading screen. But then there is also a handful of indoor locations, such as GCPD, or Final Offer, or the bank. They are smaller, more linear, they are split into smaller rooms, but most importantly, they are completely separated from the main area. The only way to get inside is through the door and the loading screen. It means you cannot, for example, get out of bounds somewhere in the overworld and clip in the middle of such area. It's just not possible in this game. And doors to those areas are actually locked down until you reach a certain point in the story. So you cannot enter the hotel until you complete objectives in Steelville, which in turn requires you to go to the bank first. It makes the game basically linear and very long. Now, here is my point. There is one unusual location, namely the Bane's Hideout. This door is locked for the most of the story, but turns out it's not yet the door with the loading screen. That one is further, after this whole area, and this is still part of the main world. So years ago we started to think, perhaps the second door is not actually locked, because there is no reason to do that. The player is not supposed to get in here anyway. And we spent a lot of time trying to find a way out of bounds nearby, so that maybe we could get in this area early. We had no luck with that for years, which is ridiculous because most of this game is riddled with holes. Sometimes getting out of bounds is as simple as walking into a wall. In the end, the closest hole we have is all the way over here. And it's an interesting one because it's actually the first out of bounds that was found in the game. Basically because Arkham City had the same hole in the same place. But still, it was ridiculously hard to get from here and to the hideout. You need a lot of height, there is water underneath, and invisible walls everywhere. There is also one other way, but it's actually even more complicated. It's not beginner friendly and also a little bit slower.